Yes, it's the final. The final is today. Hello and welcome everybody. What is going on? So this is Mirza TV and today are the Euro finals. Now I was not going to make a video about this just because it doesn't matter what I say, people will claim bias. So I decided that, you know what, maybe I should make a video. And then I got a few comments of people saying that I should make a video, so that's the reason why I am making this one. So yes, I'm making a video on the Euros. Who do I think will win the final? Who do I think will be the standout player? Who do I look forward to watching? Who do I think will be the difference maker? And who do I think will have a really bad game? All these kind of factors I'm going to look at. But like I said, the reason why I was not gonna make this video was because of bias. Because obviously France beat us, they knocked us out. So if I was to say that I think Portugal will win, it would sound biased. If I were to say that France would win, everyone would be like, "You're only saying that because if we didn't say that France would win, you would be biased." So it doesn't matter what I say. Essentially, people will say I'm biased either way. So that's why take this. This is my promise to you right now. Everything I say in this video is not biased to a huge degree. Everything I say is not biased to a huge degree. So, the finals are today. Who do I think will win? What do I think will happen? Now, who do I think will win is a difficult question to answer because I think the game is going to go either two ways. The first way is that there's not going to be much happening. I don't think there's going to be much happening. I think both teams will be pretty nervous, and ultimately I think that Portugal, they're going to play the same way that they've played this whole tournament, where they don't look dangerous, they don't look like they're going to concede, they're just there essentially. They're just there and nothing is happening, and ultimately I think that's what's going to happen. Ultimately I think that's the most likely scenario. I think that ultimately this game will look just like one team having the ball, the other team having the ball, but the ball's not going anywhere. I think the ball's just going to be there, no chance are going to be created. You might have two shots in the whole game and it will go to extra time. In extra time I think that nothing will happen again. I think at like the last 5 minutes or so of extra time both teams will go for it, but I think at that point will be too late. Then we'll get to penalties and Portugal win. That's what I think is the most likeliest scenario. And the reason for that is because after the way Portugal have been playing, I think it just says that Portugal are going to win this year just because of the way they've been playing. They fought against the odds essentially, and then they've made it. And I think, you know, when you fight against the odds, it's ultimately yours to lose, and I think it's really theirs to lose right now. And I think that just Portugal, they just have that extra quality. I keep mentioning that, but when you have Ronaldo, you basically guaranteed a goal. And I know that he's not excelled at all so far in the Euros. I know people are saying, one side is saying, he's been great. The other side is saying he hasn't done anything. I don't think he's done anything at all. I think he's been in dangerous positions, but he hasn't actually done anything in those positions whatsoever. He scored 2 or 3 goals in one game. But besides that, he's not actually done anything, you know, at all. So that's why I think now is the time. You know, it's the finals. He's gonna have to do something, and he will probably do something. Now that's why I think Portugal will win on penalties. But that's only one scenario. The second scenario is that France, they will go all out. They won't look nervous at all. They'll just get the ball. They'll just go forward straight away. And they will win it in 90 minutes 3-0. That's the second scenario. I think those are the only two scenarios. I don't see Portugal winning it in normal time at all. I think they'll either win it on penalties, or I think that France will win it. So no matter what happens, it's either going to be a very entertaining game or a very boring game, essentially. Let's talk about the two Bayern players, obviously. Coman for France and Sanchez for Portugal. Now, Sanchez I think will start. I do feel that Sanchez, him starting, is very likely. I think he's shown in the last 2 games how important he is to Portugal. Every time he's played, you know, every time he gets the ball, he goes forward with it straight away. That's his first thought. Get the ball, run 30, 40 meters, get to the goal, try and create something, try and score, try and do anything, essentially. And I think that's exactly what Portugal need, because they look kind of bland, they look kind of boring, I'll be honest here, in like the first few matches where he didn't play, and since he's been playing they look much more dangerous, they look much more lively, and I think that he's really the key to transitioning the ball from midfield to attack. But France, will Coman play? I don't see Coman playing. I don't think that Coman will play ultimately. I think it's still too early for him because France, they just have much better players on the wings, and I think that Coman, it's not his time just yet. But I see him coming on maybe in like the second half, maybe, you know, when it goes to extra time. I think maybe then he'll come on because he's perfect against tired legs. And so ultimately, you know, you can look at Coman, you can say, yes, is he gonna play? I think so. I do think that if the game goes after 90 minutes, I think that he'll ultimately come on, and I think that he might play a few minutes here and there, and he'd be very important. But I think, like I said before, I think ultimately it'll be too late. But I do think he might get a few minutes if it goes to extra time. But I think Sanchez is the key here. Sanchez is the key because I think that he's going to start, and I think that he's going to be Portugal's most dangerous player. I think he's going to be the key for them today, and I think he's going to be man of the match ultimately. But who do I think will disappoint? Now, this is obviously a difficult question to answer just because both teams have looked okay to goodish. So who's going to be that one player that's going to mess up? And actually, no, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it because I know whatever I say, people are gonna think that's bias. But it's a France player. It's a France player whose name ends with man, with a double N. I think you kind of know who I'm talking about, but I won't say it. And I think that he's gonna fail because he's gonna have the memory of the Champions League final in his mind, and he's gonna remember that in those crucial moments, and you can't have hesitation in those crucial moments. So that's what I think that's what I think the edge is on Portugal essentially, just because I don't see Griezmann. I think every time he's gonna get into dangerous position, he's gonna think, okay, you know what, this is to make up for the Champions League final miss. And he's going to think about it every time, and I think that's going to slow his reactions down, that's going to slow his decision making down, and ultimately that's really going to hinder him in this game. I don't think he's a bad player. I know everyone keeps saying that. I think that he's a bad player. I don't think he's a bad player. I just think he's massively overrated. I think the fact that people are saying he should win the Ballon d'Or, I don't understand that at all. I don't understand that at all. I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's a great player. That's all I'm going to say. I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's a great player. I think he's overrated, but that doesn't mean that he's bad. That's what people get wrong. But anyway, like I said, I think Griezmann is going to have those 1 or 2 moments in this game where he's going to look at it, he's going to be like, yes, I can do it, but then he's going to have the memories of the Champions League final in his mind, and ultimately that's going to stop him. For Portugal, like I said, I think I expect a big night of Ronaldo. Maybe the game will end 1-1 and then go extra time, but ultimately I do expect a goal from Ronaldo. I'm not his biggest fan, but I'm also not his biggest critic. I just think he's a great player. I can respect him. I can look at him, I can be like, yeah, you're a great player. That's all there is to it. I still think Messi is better than you, but that's a different debate. But I can look at Ronaldo, I can say, yeah, you're a great player, and I do think that, you know, he's going to be the difference maker today. He's going to help them get that goal when France get that goal, and then it goes to extra time. He's going to motivate his team. He's going to, you know, that's the aspect that you don't really recognize with Ronaldo, that he's actually motivates his team. You know, penalties last week, the last time they had a penalty shootout, for example, he was there. He really motivated them. He said, you know what, take a penalty. You're good at them. Although the player was like, I don't want to take it, but he's like, it doesn't matter. You know, just do your best, and that's all there is to it. So I really like those qualities of him. But like I said, not his biggest fan, but not his biggest critic. I just think, you know, he's great, and that's it. That's all there is to it. But I gave you my thoughts. I gave you the 2 scenarios that I think are going to happen. But who do I think will ultimately lift the cup? Out of those 2 scenarios, who do I think is more likely? And here I present you with a 3rd scenario that I literally just made up right now. Ronaldo's going to go in a madness. I think he's going to score 3 goals. I think France will score 2 goals. And ultimately, I think the game will end 3-2. I know that goes against everything I've just said in the last 8 minutes or so. But I literally just thought about it. And Ronaldo, you know, he's going for that Ballon d'Or. He's really going for it. You can tell that he's going for it. He scored in the Champions League final. Of course, it was a penalty, but he scored, and he's going to be up for it. He's going to know, you know what, this is my chance. This is my country. You know, after 2004, this is what we have to do. And I think ultimately that's why he's going to have that madness today. He's going to really shine today. That's what I think. And ultimately, I think he's going to score. Portugal scoring 3 goals, France scoring 2 goals, and ultimately Ronaldo, I think, is going to be, like I said, I think he's going to be involved in 3 goals. I think he's going to score 2, create 1, and I think Portugal might win. And that's, I think, in my opinion, the most likely scenario, just because I think the pressure is too much on France. Now, something that has nothing to do with this match at all. I had an appearance on The Ugly Inside talking about Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, because he looks to be going to Southampton. If you want to check out that video, I'll leave that in the description down below. But yeah, that's all there is, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching. As always, people, rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe. Peace out, and have a nice day.